If you're planning a move to the suburbs of Atlanta, these are the neighborhoods you want to pay attention to. I've lived in Atlanta since 2008, and if I had to move out to the suburbs, it would be one of these neighborhoods. Now, these are all around the metro area, and of course, you will have to probably be in a certain side of town, so not all of these will work for you. But once you figure out where you'll be working or where you need to be close to for family, you can research the neighborhoods close to that area that I'm mentioning today. Remember, you must narrow down your search to be effective, and the 4 parameters to do so are affordability. You need a certain size home at a certain price, commute, amenities, and the lifestyle you're looking for. There are 13 neighborhoods listed here today, so I'm just going to briefly run through the pros and cons of each so the video doesn't run too long. This list is in order and we'll start at 13. At number 13, I have Fairburn, which is south of the perimeter. And this could be a great option for someone looking for newer construction at a low budget that's close to the city. It's a very easy commute in town. Traffic in this area is way less worse than it would be on the north side of town. If you travel for work or work in the airline industry, the airport is going to be extremely close to you in Fairburn. And there is a lot of new construction development in Fairburn. This is an area where you can still purchase a good sized new construction home, whether it be single family detached or attached, for well under $400,000. The main cons being it does not have the highest rated schools, and there are not as many high quality amenities located in Fairburn as some of the other neighborhoods we're going to talk about today. Of course, being so close to the city, you're going to have Atlanta's best amenities not too far away. At number 12, I have Stone Mountain. I've been talking more about this area recently. This is in DeKalb County to the east-northeast of the perimeter. This is an extremely easy commute into Atlanta for those of you working closer to downtown. Stone Mountain does have a nice historic downtown area, in addition to Stone Mountain itself, which is a popular and great amenity to be close by to. There are some really nice high-end areas in Stone Mountain, and there's some not so nice areas that are a little bit more run down. But the affordability here is still really, really good, especially being so close to so many great things around Atlanta. Now, your school assignments here may not be the best, but for someone looking to be really close to fun things to do, like the city of Decatur or even Buford Highway, without paying the high prices in those areas, Stone Mountain could be an excellent option to get into home ownership. At 11, I have Canton, which is about 40 to 50 minutes north of Atlanta. This is probably the furthest suburb from Atlanta that I'll mention today. But if you're looking for more of an exurb, if you don't care as much how far you are from Atlanta, and you're looking for slightly more of a quaint rural vibe, Canton is really cute. It's got a nice downtown area, and of course, you're heading right into North Georgia. So if you enjoy the outdoors, if you want to go enjoy the Blue Ridge Mountains, the hiking, camping, vineyards that are found in North Georgia, or one of the lakes, whether it be Lanier and Allatoona, all of this is going to be much more readily available to you in Canton. Now, it has gotten much more expensive over the last few years, but it's still much more affordable than nearby neighborhoods like Milton or Alpharetta. If you're interested in more of a laid-back country vibe without being too far from the city, Canton could be a great option for you. At number 10, I have Smyrna, and this is a suburb that has exploded in popularity in the last few years. This is in Cobb County, really bordering the perimeter to the northwest. As I've mentioned many times, this is where the Atlanta Braves play at the Battery, so obviously that's a major amenity, not just the team, but all of the businesses that have sprouted up with that complex. It's a breeze to get into town from Smyrna, so Atlanta really will be at your fingertips living here. It does not have some of the better school assignments in Cobb County, but this could be a great option for a young couple looking to purchase something. They don't want to be in the heart of the city, or maybe they can't quite afford to be. Especially if you're interested in townhomes or condos, there's a lot of new construction and development going on in this area, and a lot of great options at decent prices to choose from. I also think this is one of the better buys in terms of appreciation of all the neighborhoods on this list. Coming up at number 9, I have Lilburn, which is to the east of the perimeter. This is in Gwinnett County. I've talked about this quite a bit. Lilburn really flies under the radar, but this is a great suburb. It's still relatively affordable. You'll be able to purchase something there in the low to mid $400,000 range. If you are commuting inside the perimeter, that's typically going to be a pretty easy commute depending on exactly where you are. This is a very diverse area, as is much of Gwinnett County. The school assignments in Lilburn are going to be better than any of the neighborhoods that we've mentioned thus far, and there's a great park system in Gwinnett County. So this could just be a great option for a family starting out. They want to be in the suburbs. Maybe someone commutes into town, but maybe they're looking for the lifestyle that a Lawrenceville or a Suwanee offers, but can't quite afford that. I think Lilburn could be a great option for a lot of people. At number 8, I have Roswell. Now, Roswell has always been one of my favorite suburbs of Atlanta. If it wasn't in the absolute heart of the worst traffic around the metro, it would probably always be rated much higher for me. So right off the bat, traffic is really bad here, both within Roswell itself, and if you're doing some sort of commute, that is going to be the most heavily trafficked sort of area coming in from directly north of the city. However, Roswell has a lot of charm, and if you're an outdoorsy person, I think you'll fit the vibe very well. The Chattahoochee runs right through Roswell. There's the rec center, and there's a lot of river accessibility in Roswell near downtown. Downtown is quaint. It's got a lot of good shops, restaurants, and retail. And even though the traffic is bad, if you do need to get into the city and you can be strategic, it's really not far at all. Now, I found the school assignments can vary depending on exactly where you are, and unfortunately a lot of the homes here I find have not been recently renovated, so you may be looking at doing some updates if you purchase here. But if you're looking for a suburb to the north of the city that has a distinct vibe and a great historic downtown area, Roswell's definitely a place you should check out. At number 7, I have Chamblee. This is cheating a little bit because Chamblee is actually inside the perimeter. I think this is the only neighborhood I'll discuss that is technically ITP, but Chamblee has grown so much, and actually after recently moving here, I can report to you that this is a fantastic place to live for a lot of different reasons, right? So obviously I mentioned we're inside the perimeter, so you're gonna be close to everything around Atlanta, but you're also on the north side of town, so if you wanted to go enjoy, a suburb like Alpharetta, that's not going to be too far away from you. The food here is just incredible. There's great diversity. There's Buford Highway with all the incredible, diverse, cheap eats that can be found here. This is some of the best food in all of Metro Atlanta. It does have a very cute downtown area. It's not, bustling like some of the downtowns that we're going to talk about today, but all of the best high-end shopping amenities that you would hope to see in a really good suburb are in Chamblee. You don't have to get any closer to Atlanta to enjoy them. It's clean, it's well-run, there's lots to do, it's diverse, and it's growing rapidly. So I had to put it on my list if I were looking to be in the suburbs, but be really as close to Atlanta as I could and benefit from some of the things that I mentioned. Chamblee would be one of the first places I look at. All right, at number 6, I have Suwanee, and I've talked about Suwanee a lot throughout the years. This has always been a fantastic suburb, especially for families, and continues to get better. This is in Gwinnett County, about 45 minutes to the northeast of Atlanta, so still well within commute range. School assignments start to get much better as you head up north in Gwinnett. And it seems like everything developed in Suwanee had families in mind, from the downtown green center, green space pavilion, which they continue to add to. You will always see kids and families out and about in Suwanee. It really has everything you'd hope to find in a great suburb. Lake Lanier is going to be very easy to enjoy living here. Now, to be honest, it has gotten pretty expensive over the last few years. You're probably gonna need a starting budget in the $500,000 range at least. But comparing that to neighboring areas like Alpharetta or Johns Creek, there's still some really good value in Suwanee. All right, at number 5, I have Woodstock, which I've talked about quite a bit. This is in Cherokee County, I would say about 45 minutes to the northwest of Atlanta. And Woodstock is known for having one of the best downtowns of any suburb in Metro Atlanta. It's been built up quite a bit over the last few years. It's always bustling, highly walkable, and there's great restaurants, retail, and shopping for you to enjoy at all times. The school assignments are typically very good in this area, and if you are commuting in town, although it would be longer than many of the areas I've talked about today, it would still be within reason. You'll certainly be able to enjoy amenities like Lake Allatoona very easily, or even catching a Braves game at the Battery. Now, we're getting into some of the more expensive neighborhoods here, so you certainly need a healthy budget if you're looking to purchase in Woodstock. However, it is growing tremendously, and I think the homes here are going to appreciate pretty solidly over the next few years. Everyone I talk to who lives in Woodstock absolutely loves it, so if you're looking for a suburb that's a little bit further out, maybe you want to be heading up towards the North Georgia area, but you want to make sure you have a really lively downtown area available to you, you're going to want to check out Woodstock. At number 4, I have Fayetteville. So this is going to be about 40 minutes south of the perimeter. And this can get lumped in with Peachtree City quite a bit. It's a little different from Peachtree City. It's a little bit more affordable, but I really like the value in Fayetteville, and it's an area that you really don't hear many people talking about. Again, if you are commuting in town, it's going to be a fairly easy commute on average. The school assignments here are typically excellent, and you can still do really well here with a budget of under $500,000. Now again, there's just not going to be the concentration of high-end or desirable amenities to the neighborhoods south of the perimeter like there are to the north, but that doesn't mean you're in the middle of nowhere. You're gonna have all your standard stuff, your retail and shopping, grocery stores. You'd have everything you need to be extremely comfortable. You just may have to travel a little bit further for a date night. I mean, I'm not saying there's not good restaurants in this area, especially in Peachtree City. The food scene has improved quite a bit over the last few years. Of course, you've got Trilith Studios nearby, which in addition to being a movie studio is a mixed-use development with some really nice new restaurants and shopping. So this area is being developed quite a bit. And again, you're gonna be super close to the airport. So anything south of the perimeter is a great idea for someone who travels a lot or works in that industry. But if you're looking for a slightly more slow country lifestyle, not too far from the city, you need those good schools, but your budget is under $500,000, Fayetteville's definitely a place you should look into. At number 3, I have East Cobb, and there's a reason why so many people want to be here. The school assignments are some of the best in the entire metro. Schools like Pope, Walton, and Lassiter are known for extremely rigorous education. So if your number one priority is school assignments, East Cobb is an area that you've got to look into, especially if you're commuting in town. What makes East Cobb unique is that the schools are so good, but let's say you work in Midtown, and this has been this specific case for a lot of clients of mine that I've helped purchase there. That can be as little as 20 minutes, believe it or not, if there's, if traffic is allowing that, so you have to be strategic, but it's not far. 20 to 35 minutes depending on traffic. This is very much an easy commute in town depending on where you have to go. It doesn't have some amazing bustling downtown area in itself, but again, the city is right there. Downtown Marietta is going to be very close to you. Downtown Alpharetta and the Avalon are not going to be too far from you. So if school quality combined with commute into town are your top priorities, you've got to look into East Cobb. Coming in at number 2, I have Alpharetta. Now, to be honest, I try not to talk about Alpharetta too much because everyone's talking about it. It's definitely the most popular suburb in all of Metro Atlanta, the one that everyone seems to want to be in, and for good reason. There are the most amount of high quality things to do in Alpharetta of any suburb in Metro Atlanta. And honestly, it's getting to the point where it competes with the city of Atlanta itself. They just keep expanding and developing in this area. I've talked many times about it before, but you've got a fantastic, highly walkable, high quality amenity downtown area, in addition to Avalon, which is another high quality mixed use development with a whole nother set of great things to do. These are now linked by the Alpha Loop, so you have some legitimate walkability / bikeability in this area. And not only that, but recently we're starting to see the culinary scene here really take off. You're having some very lauded and rewarded and prestigious restaurants in Alpharetta that people are making a point to go out and visit. So this is certainly an area where you wouldn't really miss anything about the city of Atlanta itself in terms of things to do. However, if you are commuting, again, this is the worst kind of traffic lane coming in from the north side of town. However, geographically, it's not that far. So depending on exactly where you are in Alpharetta, perfectly well within the reasonable commute time. Now, because of all these things I mentioned, Alpharetta is going to be the most expensive place to live on this list. If you're looking for a detached option, you're going to need a budget at least around $650,000. However, if you can get by on something smaller or something attached, you can do much, much better than that budget. But if you're one of those people with a very healthy budget and you ask me, Mark, money's not an option, I just want to be in the best suburb in all of Metro Atlanta, I would have to steer you towards Alpharetta. And coming in at number 1 on my list of my favorite Atlanta suburbs is Duluth. I absolutely love Duluth, and I've been singing its praises, and I'll continue to do so. Now, you have to understand what this list is obviously going to be pretty personal to myself and the things that I like, so some of these things may not apply to you, but there's a lot to love about Duluth. This is in Gwinnett County, just to the northeast of the perimeter, very close to the perimeter, very easy trip into town, even though this is an extremely highly trafficked area. Geographically, it's not far. And for my money, Duluth simply has the best food scene in all of Metro Atlanta. Now, granted, I'm a big fan of Asian food. If you're not, it may appeal to you a little bit less. Even if you took away the Asian food, that's still a great food scene. However, this is a diverse area with a large Asian population, and you're gonna benefit from all the amazing food that goes along with that in Duluth. And we're not talking about big chain restaurants, ones that you've heard of. We're talking about a bunch of independently owned places that you've never eaten at before, and most of them are extremely high quality. In addition to the great food scene, this is one of the better downtown areas of all the neighborhoods that I've mentioned today. It's a cute downtown with lots of high quality places to shop and eat. The school assignments here are typically very good, and you don't have to break the bank to live here. You can certainly still find something move-in ready here that's detached under $500,000. And just in general, you're gonna do much, much better here with your budget, especially compared to neighboring areas like Alpharetta or Johns Creek. So you've got good proximity to Atlanta, the best food in the metro, an amazing downtown area, high quality schools, great diversity, and comparatively really good value for your dollar when going to purchase a home. If I could buy a home in any of the neighborhoods I mentioned today, it would definitely be in Duluth. So there you have it, my 13 favorite Atlanta suburbs. I hope that list was beneficial for you and got your brain thinking about where you should be looking. Again, I know not all of these will be relevant for you because you can't just live anywhere around the metro, but depending on where you have to commute to or where a family or an amenity is, you can look up the neighborhoods that are on that side of town and do your research from there. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.